Hey there, gang. David Guffel, Thinker Farmer. I'm here at camper at Gran Estrada's making breakfast and getting ready for another work day. And kind of wanted to talk a little bit today about, well, I'm going to ask it as a question, take it where it goes. Are you limiting yourself? And the main, if I was to sum it up in one word, what I want to talk about in this video is opportunity. Right now, I've been job searching now for, well, almost a couple months, and have ended up, because of family circumstances, deciding that I need to just stay close to home and do some part-time work. And Grant is not that far from home, and so really is a no-brainer situation for me to be able to help him out. And anyway, through the whole job searching process, anybody that knows kind of the economy of America right now and the labor market, if you say you can't find a job, there's something wrong with you. There's work everywhere, and farming's no exception. I reached out to a lot of different people, and had several people reach out to me once they found out I was looking for work, and some farming related, most farming related, a couple maybe not farming related, but just a lot of different opportunities. And so I haven't taken a job because it's just not the right timing for me. I mean, I'm working clearly, but haven't taken a definitive full-time job, and partially because of the timing. That's the biggest thing. And then the second thing too is I'm choosing to be fairly picky, because after just the number of experiences I have, just taking any job is not really my goal. So there's been a whole process that I've gone through, but I'm just profoundly impressed again that there is so much opportunity out there. And you know, even with America's economic situation and the long range, maybe things are going to get worse in this country as we make less and less items and more of our jobs are shipped overseas. There is always going to be opportunity. And the reason I say that is because that's the way life in this planet is wired. That's the way everything runs. If you look at, just biologically, if you look at things growing and developing in an ecosystem, there's always an uncertainty of risk. When that plant sprouts and begins growing, when that farmer throws that seed in the ground, if you have a drought or you have a flood, you know, when a couple of birds decide to have a group of little ones and then maybe face predators, pests, and other things, the reality is, through all that, you know there's a lot of uncertainty of risk, but that uncertainty of risk is what provides the opportunity or the chance for reward. And that's how life is in general. You know, there are consequences to our actions, but that also means that if we make really good choices, really good things are going to happen. And so for me, I have to realize, I have to ask myself, am I limiting myself in the options that are out there? Because it's too easy to think of, to forget about opportunities that are out there. Often it's easy to not see what is out there. I actually wrote some thoughts down this morning to keep my mind on track. I asked myself the question, I said, are you limiting yourself? And then I asked why. And what I wrote down here is a fearful outlook, or a scarcity-based outlook, an outlook that says we live in a world that is scarce, there's not an abundance of resources, we're fighting to survive, and we're struggling to make it. That kind of scarcity outlook, which is not true, because if you look at the world around you, with the amount of energy and resources out there, there's an abundance out there. if you have that kind of scarcity mentality, you're going to eliminate clear thinking and objective thinking, and you're also going to prevent yourself from reaching attainable goals because you're so afraid of what's going to go wrong. You're so afraid because you're living in this make-believe world of scarcity and of danger and of famine and want. And that's not the way life is, unless you want it to be. And the reality is, if you don't believe you can accomplish some farming dreams or goals, no one else can believe it for you. And there is a learning curve in seeking opportunities. We all make mistakes. We all see things that we think are opportunities and then learn after the fact, oh, that was a really bad idea. But that's part of the learning curve of opportunities. And so we shouldn't let that get us down. And so then I asked myself, well, how does each person start the day? Because that says a lot about their opportunities. You know, a lot of people start their day and they've already decided it's not going to be a good day. You know, if you start your day that way, you've kind of wrecked things for yourself. Bad days do happen in our lives. That's just reality. But that doesn't mean that it has to be that way. There's kind of two ways you can start your day. You can essentially, you know, start your day and assume that something bad is going to happen, and you allow that to define your days, both your good and your bad days, because you do have bad days, let's face it. Or you start the day and you essentially define the day and decide that whether the circumstances are bad or not, or whether it ends up being a really good day, you're going to go ahead and be proactive, and you're going to create opportunity even when things go wrong. And so for me, let me make this statement. Bad years happen. You have bad seasons in farming, and I mean, you look at right now, a lot of the certain parts of the country are in a pretty hard drought. Are you going to let that drought wreck your grazing for years and years to come? Because really, there's two ways to create a drought. One is you can manage yourself into a drought with poor grazing. Another is it happens as a result of the weather, which is beyond your control, but it can also wreck you in that circumstance because you don't prepare and wisely plan through the drought. And if you do that, you're going to destroy the soil. You're going to destroy, and the soil represents potential. The soil is where your resource base is. That's where all the microbes are. That's where everything happens that allows you to grow all that good green grass. You graze your grass off too short, and then you hit a drought, you're going to cook all those soil microorganisms and potentially ruin things for years. And so when bad years happen, you have to proactively handle the situation so you don't wreck your resource base for years to come. But that doesn't mean you don't have good seasons and good years. And in all the haze of life, with all the circumstances happening, you need to be able to see the opportunity through the haze and get after it. So if you tell yourself today, I don't see opportunity, then maybe you need to sit down under a tree and just take 20 or 30 minutes or an hour until you begin seeing opportunity. Because otherwise, you're living your life in a scarcity mindset, and it's going to be a sad story. Anyway, other than that, I would just reiterate myself to say, don't live your life blindsided to opportunity. There are things out there to be done, and you and I need to get after them. Anyway, gang, I'm going to get ready to start the day doing some fence building and other things. So blessings for the journey, and keep it real.